Conservative Life on Mars because we are living in strange times. I have a serious update for you from a story that I did back in November 2022. Now, do you remember Marlene Headley? Does that name ring a bell to you? Does ngozifulani ring a bell to you? Yes, it does, because Marlene Headley publicly goes by the name ngozifulani that accused Lady Diane Hussey, one of the remaining ladies in waiting for uh, our dearly departed Elizabeth II, one of her ladies in waiting. She accused her of racism for asking her where she came from. And you remember, this was a whole exchange that happened. They were at an event, a woman's event, and Lady Hussey asked her these questions, and Ngozi Fulani just basically gave very generic answers to it. So, being a very well traveled woman, especially with the Queen, was probably very familiar with several different African styles or Jamaican styles and just wanted to know what was the origin of this woman's name and perhaps her cosplay clothing. So, here's the update. Cosplay Marine, aka ngozifulani, had to step down from her position of CEO at her charity called sistahplace. Now, sistahplace was a organization or is an organization that caters to helping women who have experienced some form of social violence or domestic violence. And they cater to the African and Caribbean communities. She said she had to step down because of all the abuse that she received from coming out and accusing this woman of racism. Okay, let's put some perspective on this. This is not abuse that you got backlash, because when the actual facts of what exactly happened in this alleged case, folks feel very, very bad about being taken advantage of and having their feelings taken advantage of. So, you brought this mess on yourself. You were expected to be a champion for your culture and racism, and hopefully this will bring a big windfall to your organization, which was embroiled in fraud charges, I do believe twice already before this incident. But you also were distributing transcripts of everything that happened. So this would mean that you had tape recorded this conversation and possibly set up Lady Hussey, knowing that she would probably still ask you questions, or you're trying to find that big moment and hope you would be some Joan of Arc for racism in the UK or something. I mean, this is absolutely stupid. So now she is saying that Buckingham Palace did not do anything because of the abuse that she is suffering from, this backlash, because people have come back and found out she is a hoax. She only wears African and tribal garb and costumes when she goes out for events and interviews. I mean, there's video of her at home saying this where she looks just as regular as you and I, but when she goes out, she puts on her costume, her African costume, which normally is you have jewelry from this nation and clothing from that nation. So it's not even well coordinated costume. And, it's like dime store stuff. And she goes out and does interviews like this, pretending to be, this is the lifestyle that she leads. This is a farce. People saw through it. So yes, people are going to call you out on this silliness because you're playing cosplay. You're no more than these folks that go to Comic Con here trying to pretend that they're some character that they are really not. And then when you go back home, you take it all off, put on your lipstick, and then you're Milani from the suburbs. So she is actually blaming Buckingham Palace for stepping in. What are they supposed to do? Whatever responsibility they wanted to take part of, Lady Hussey has apologized to you. After that, it's over with. How you handle the aftermath is up to your business. You didn't come out and apologize to Lady Hussey for maybe putting her in a very uncompromising position, knowing that you were a farce, but yet you wanted Buckingham Palace to come in and be Captain Save-A-Hole and save your little dying organization. The only abuse you probably experienced was the slowdown of donations to where you possibly have to close your doors real soon. Allege. You probably got people prank calling you and calling you out on your silliness. I mean, really. You really need to check yourself, and then you go back on TV and talk more gibberish, making yourself look silly. Come on now. I mean, you're the one that's looking stupid here, not Buckingham Palace. And Buckingham Palace doesn't want to have any parts of you because they probably know you are a fraud too. Now, we just need you to understand you are a fraud. Okay, look, this is Conservative Life on Mars. I wanted to bring you this pitiful update about Ngozifulani. Her real name is Marlene Headley, and she has the absolute audacity to come out and want Buckingham Palace to save her from going under over some debauchery and silliness that she caused herself. Am I blowing smoke? Let me know what you think.